Welcome to Cat Energy Work. My name is Teresa. This is an energy report, and I'm going to be talking about life lessons and how it relates to experiences with other people. So, the basic idea is that we go through our lives and we interact with people, and there's this idea that whenever we encounter somebody, they're reflecting back something about ourselves that we either need to work on or we don't like or we're not recognizing. And it sort of puts this um, I want to say like a curse on you, kind of. It's this idea of if I'm encountering somebody and they're abusive to me, then there's something in me that's abusive and I'm not working on it, or because of my karma, I'm attracting bullshit. Like, oh, I must have really fucked up and now I'm getting my ass handed to me, or, um, you know, this person that um, constantly cracks their knuckles together and annoys me because I haven't resolved having my hands broken in a past life by somebody. And I would say that those kind of things can happen, but it's not cut and dry in a karmic way like that. And this is something that took me a long time to understand. There's the other scenario where, come on, brain. Um, you can sort of try to insert yourself helping other people into their situation, and you might just create anxiety, like either what you have to offer isn't something they're ready for, or it's like none of your business or responsibility because it's something they have to learn on their own, right? So it's like, um, if you're like, okay, well, my friends broke up and I don't like it, it's freaking me out, there's no explanation, like, I need to make sure they're both okay, I need to, like, help them fix their relationship and solve all of their personal problems. And it's like, first of all, like, maybe nobody asked you. And second of all, it's not your problem to fix. Okay, this is something that we do, right? It's like, oh, you're poor, I need to give you money to help you fix your problem. Whereas if they had to solve it themselves, they might make connections to other people that they need to and then end up getting some kind of a job or a windfall or a grant or something that they otherwise would not have found out about. So those are kind of situations where you're sort of inserting yourself into someone else's life because you feel responsible in some way. Um, and that's kind of related. What I'm talking about is that, sometimes you might have an interaction with somebody, especially like online, where somebody is wrong, um, or you might be in like a public place and somebody's like turbo Karening next to you, and you might tear ass into somebody, and then you feel like an asshole afterwards. You're like, why did I get myself involved? I just messed up my energy. And it's like, maybe you were just supposed to be there to hand somebody their ass, or to not, like, lay down and get out of their way, right? It's like you're participating in a situation, but the situation doesn't actually have anything to do with you. It's like you're just there to teach somebody else a lesson, to you're sort of like an NPC, like you're a non-playable character. You have nothing to do with them except to just to be there. It's kind of like those situations where, you know, a witness to an accident will pull somebody out of a burning vehicle, right? It's they like you don't have anything to do with them, but you were just there to be part of a lesson, and you may never see them again. So, like one example that I could have taken very personally, right? I'm in a situation where I'm sort of in like caring for other people, right? So I go down to the laundromat and I'm putting stuff in the dryer. This lady comes in, and then her little friggin' dog comes up and starts jumping on my leg, okay? So I'm not a dog person. We had a dog when I was growing up. I am a cat person. I'd be like, oh, kitty. But when I am like not feeling well and I'm like, my autism is like all the way up and I still have to like overcome the demand resistance and like the stress and the trauma of forcing myself to do things when I'm tired. I'm like barely functioning. I'm there. I'm putting stuff in the dryer, and now I've got some little yappy dog jumping up and down on my leg unexpectedly. So I'm startled. I'm upset a little bit. Like, I don't like it. I'm like, this is not. Like, this is a bullshit situation. I don't like it. So I could just, like, move away. I could try to, like, hide in my own energy field. But I've gotten to a point where it's like, I'm not gonna walk on eggshells for everyone around me. Right? I don't, like, nobody has to like me. I went through a lot of trauma to be able to stand up for myself, even up to like a couple years ago. And it still makes me tense and makes me feel sick to my stomach. And I was just like, are you serious? This is what I said out loud. And this old lady, she's like, what? And I'm like, your dog is like on me? And like her thing was like, oh, I didn't know he was gonna get out of the car. She had this dog on a leash, but apparently she didn't shut her windows enough. I'm like, your little friggin' dog is like all over me. And, you know, it's like she got mad at me and called me a bitch because she's not being a responsible pet owner. And this situation, it sort of like made me tense and irritated. I'm like, why is somebody who is like at least 20 years older than me acting like spoiled, irresponsible, and so on? And I also think she opened my dryer so that my clothes stayed wet when I left to go back to my house for a little while. You know, real petty, bitchy, entitled, you know, just sort of irresponsible. It's like, you know, like if you have a dog and you have it on a leash, like if your dog is behaved, bring it in with you. If it's not, close the window enough so they're not hopping out and running into traffic or whatever. You know, because the dog could have easily run into the road instead of into the building and jumped on my leg. You know, and I don't know, like, what's going on with your little yappy dog. Like, you know, I don't know where it's been, what it's eating, what it's got, like, diseased or anything. You know, it's just as bad as a bigger dog. You know, it's like today, dropkick special climbing up my leg. Tomorrow, like, I've got a mastiff knocking me over. And also, like, too, like, even the little dog almost knocked me over. And sometimes I have to walk with a cane because my back is so messed up. So, like, that's an aside point, but still, this lady's dog is jumping on me, and I'm the one who's a bitch because I said something out loud. You know, and I said friggin' or fuck at some point in the interchange. You know, and I wasn't angry in particular. I was just using words like, are you fucking serious with this, right? Like, what the hell? Like, come on. Like, handle your shit, lady. And so there's, there's an altercation, and I'm like, well, what does this have to do with me? Like, oh, am I not responsible for my pets? Like, you know, am I the a-hole because, our stray cat that won't let us pick her up is running around, eating mice in other people's yard? Like, so it's like, oh, am I not responsible for something? Am I inconveniencing people around me when I go out in public? Well, no. This situation is not a lesson for me. It's a lesson for this lady. And based on her behavior, she's probably not going to learn a goddamn thing. But maybe if she goes to do errands in the city, she might be a little more careful about keeping her dog in her vehicle or minding it so it doesn't get run over. But that's not my problem. This lesson wasn't for me, it was for the lady. And she can either learn from it or not. But like I said, based on her attitude, she probably didn't learn a goddamn thing. But the point is, like, the situation wasn't for me to learn something. Just aside from, we're presenting you with a situation and you can either stick up for yourself or not. And I decided to do that. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, dog, like, ugh. Like, ugh, brother, ugh. And there's another situation just like that when I was in a doctor's office and these two girls were, like, running around the frickin' waiting room. And I was just like, seriously? Huh? And then they stopped and the mother came from around the corner, was like, ugh! Like, yelling at them to stop. But it's just like, I could feel that other people in the waiting room were, like, happy that I had said something, but I wasn't just like, oh my god, where's your mother? Get these kids in. I was just like, are you, like, really? This is what you're choosing to do. And it's just sort of, it might not be the most effective way to communicate that there is a problem with the situation, but it's definitely better than, like, starting an all-out bitch fight with somebody that you don't know in public. But it's just like, like a reaction to something is being like, this is, like, what is this shit? Like, what the fuck? And in that way, it's like I don't have, like, I don't have a dog in the show. I don't have a horse in the race here, right? I don't care what happens to these people, but, like, my part in the situation is like, oh, I've read my lines, and then I go about my life. So in that situation, I am a non-playable character, right? I'm part of the background of that scene. And it's hard not to take these things personally, but I've noticed it more and more. Whereas, like, instead of being like, some lady was a bitch to me today and blamed me for her irresponsibility, like, what does this mean in the grand scale of my life, and is my karma messed up? I thought I did my inner child work. What's happening? It's like, this doesn't even have anything to do with me. I just was there. Like, I was a paid extra for the day and the pay was really shitty. Like, I did, like, sometimes you don't even get lines. You just, you're in the background. It goes to, sorry, I just shook the camera. There's this idea where, like, you're the main character in your life and everyone around you is, they're either the supporting actors or the extras, or somebody's in the corner playing a tree. And that's the same thing for somebody else's life, right? I'm the main character of my life and my family. And then, my siblings or parents or aunts and uncles, they're all the main character in their life. And I'm either a supporting character, or, I have, like, a minor role or a cameo, or, again, I'm an extra. And, a lot of the time extras don't have speaking roles, and sometimes they do. And that's what's happening here. So the idea that I'm talking about with all this blah blah blah, 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 with all this chatter is when you encounter a situation, especially if there's a conflict of some sort, it's not always a lesson for you. Sometimes it's a lesson for the random person that you encountered, and you are the non-playable character. So, long story long here. So that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab. I'm running a sale on tarot readings. Some of them, I have readings that are normally $45. They're on sale for $30. I have a clock calendar reading that's $81. That's on sale for $40. And then I have longer readings that are usually $90, $99, and they're on sale for $50. So this is through June 21st. So get on that if you want a reading, because that's the only way to get a more in-depth reading for less, because the sample reading for $9 is not going to be very long. So really good deal. Running a sale. I've got some bills to cover, and I want to try to make it easier for more people to get a reading right now, to kind of help me out with that. So I put an ad in the beginning of the video, and you can see more information about tarot down below in the description box. So stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye. Thank you for watching. Stay connected with Cat the Minion energy work. Check out my complete suite of goods and services conveniently from my link tree. linktr.ee/cattheminion. Color your way into some relaxation with my coloring books Energy Forms and Draco Forms on Amazon. Get groovy with fashion and home accessories from my Cafe Press or Redbubble shops. Decorate your environment with original art and divination tools from my Etsy shop.